There are a couple of AP invoices which user is expecting to see in payables trial balance, but they are not appearing. And there are a couple of AP invoices which are fully paid, but still they are appearing in payable trial balance, and user is not expecting these invoices to appear in this report. In this video, I'll talk about all these scenarios where you might see these kind of issues. This is Arvind Varganti, and you are watching Oracle EBS and Fusion Financials videos channel. Payables Trial Balance is the crucial report which users run during month end, and they ensure that the balance shown in this report matches the GL account analysis or your GL trial balance report for the concerned liability accounts. If this is not matching, then business users raise a priority ticket with the production and the support team. So some of the common issues which we generally see in this payables trial balance report are AP invoices cancelled, but they are still appearing in payables trial balance. Fully paid AP invoices are appearing in this report, which user do not expect these invoices to be appearing in the report. There are certain invoices which are validated, but they're still not appearing in the report. And probably there could be a new liability account which are created, and any invoices which are created using this new liability account are not appearing in the report. So in general, whenever a new liability account is created, we should ensure that when the liability account is set up in the chart of account segment, so we should assign a financial category of payables. So if that's not assigned, then those kind of invoices where that liability account is used might not appear in this report. So before we get into the troubleshooting steps as to why those invoices are not appearing in the report, I've seen at least 90% of the time the issue should be resolved if you follow these 3 steps. So the first one is we should ensure that the AP invoice is accounted and transferred to GL. Sometimes user might account the invoice but not transfer to GL. So one of the scenario could be say you ran your create accounting program or the job with transfer to GL as no. So in those cases, the invoice would be accounted within AP but would not have been transferred to GL. Or sometimes you would have transferred to GL, but the journal entry is not yet posted in GL. And second thing would be ensure that if the AP invoice is paid, then corresponding AP payment is also accounted and transferred to GL. If the invoice is accounted and transferred to GL, the corresponding AP payment should also be your accounted and transferred to GL, so that system will ignore these invoices. System will consider these invoices fully paid and will not show in the report. And also, if there are any AP invoice cancellations, we should also ensure that the cancellation event is also accounted. So sometimes if the cancellation event account is not accounted or transferred to GL, then system will still treat it as not not cancelled from the report perspective, and this invoice might start appearing in the report. So at least I've seen 90% of the time, if you ensure that all these 3 things are taken care, then you should not have any issues in reconciling your payables trial balance report with your GL trial balance report or GL account analysis. And if even any of these troubleshooting steps do not resolve the issue, then there is a last resort which is called as self-healing steps. So we need to follow this self-healing steps. So we need to create a profile option with a code and the name as APSHB YIV underscore enable, and I have given the name of the task. And we need to assign the profile option value as Y for the user, for a specific user, and log in with that particular user and run the invoice validation ESA job by passing the problematic invoice numbers as a parameter. So we need to repeat all these 3 steps, or rather like step 1 and step 2 are just one-time activities, and we need to repeat point number 3 for all the invoices that are incorrectly reported in the trial balance report. So once we run this invoice validation job for those problematic invoices, we can run payables trial balance report and check if the data is correct. And if after this, probably your payables trial balance report should start matching with your GL account analysis report. And once that is done, we can delete this profile option. Now let me show you where you can define this profile option. Okay, and again, as I mentioned, that this is the last resort once you have gone through all other steps. So this is the task manage profile option. So from this particular task, we can create this profile option, manage profile options. So that's the task. Let me go to setup and maintenance. Go to the global search. Search for manage profile option. Manage profile options. Is this manage profile options? Okay, let me try once again. Manage profile options. Yeah, this one. And I believe in this environment, this profile option already exists. If this doesn't exist, click on plus and create that. But I think this already exists. So let us check for this. Yeah, it already exists. So when I have created this profile option, so this is the profile option code. So we should follow exactly the same name. This is the display name. Module is payables, application is payables, and need not enter anything in your description SQL validation. Enter the start date as probably the date before your problematic invoice date. So I just put today's date. But if your problematic invoice has invoice date of say November 5th, so probably create this with the start date of say November 1st or maybe November 4th. And also ensure that this particular profile option is enabled and updatable at the user level. So this is the first step to create the profile option. And the next step would be to assign this particular profile option to our current user. So using this particular task manage administer profile option values. So using this particular task, let me search for this profile option which we have created. So extra blank space, remove that. Okay, so this is the profile option which was created. So in order to assign this particular profile option to my user, so I need to click on this plus button, and then profile level is user, as we have enabled this only at user. So the dropdown shows only user, and username is the username through which I am planning to run the ESH job. So I just want to run the ESH job using this particular user, and this is the user ID through which I logged into this Fusion application, and the profile value should be Y. So just say yes, save, and then go to your ESH app and run the invoice validation program for the problematic invoices. And once the issue is resolved, you can again come back here and either delete this particular profile option. I don't think so. I mean, you can edit the profile option definition or delete this particular value. So maybe I'll just delete this particular value. As long as we delete this particular value and we do not assign this profile option to any users, so we are good. So this profile option do not have any other significance. So I have deleted the profile option value from the user level. Okay. So let me also show you like how do you generally reconcile your payables trial balance with the GL account analysis report. So let me go to scheduled process and run the payables trial balance report for my business unit or for my ledger. So go to the scheduled process, schedule new process, and search for payables trial balance. So you can see payables trial balance, list and subtotals by supplier and liability account, all unpaid and partially paid invoices. This report should show only unpaid invoices or partially paid invoices. It should not show fully paid or your cancelled invoices. So when you bring up this particular job, you can see the parameters. So this is my ledger, and within this particular ledger I'm interested in, there are two BUs, and this is company code 004 and this is company code 003. So I want to run this particular report for Reliance Telecom, which is company code 004 in my example. And liability account, I'm just running this particular report as of today's date. So in general, in a real world, we run this particular program at the end of the month, but there is no harm. We can even run the report during the month as well. Okay. And if you know the account, your liability account code combination, you can specify those account code combinations. But if you do not know, you can leave it blank so that this report will run for the all the account liability account code combination. In general, in a real world, probably we have one or two liability account code combinations. Okay. So I'm submitting this. process ID ending with 754 got triggered. So once this job is completed, we can open the output and check what exactly is the liability account balance. So this particular report is pulling the liability account balance from the subledger, which is AP in this example. Okay, and then picking up that particular account code combination, we can go to the GL and maybe you go to your GL account analysis report, or you can go to your inquire detailed transactions navigation, or you can run your trial balance report within GL. So all the ways bring up the same thing. So I'll run maybe a trial balance report from GL and compare that with my payables trial balance. So this is one of the reconciling item which users users perform this kind of reconciliation every month end. Okay, so payables trial balance is completed. So let me scroll down, and this is the log file and this is the output file. And you need to view the output file, click on republish. So if you observe here, when you republish here, there are a couple of tabs which got generated. So there is one tab which sorts the data by liability account. There is another tab which sorts the data by supplier account, and so on. So probably I'll go by the second one. So let me select this second one, click on this export PDF. Okay, report is generated. And if I open up, this is for my Reliance Telecom business unit. If I scroll down, you can see the details at a invoice level. So if I look at the bottom of the report, I have total, there are two liability accounts combinations. So this is one account code combination, this is another account code combination. So the last segment is different. And this is the total sum. This is for 175,597 for this account liability account combination, and this is $100 balance for this liability account combination, and the total net balance is 175,697 for this account. In this case, this is my company cost center national account and the intercompany segment. So this is my national account. So now let me go back to GL and run the trial balance report and check what exactly is the balance against this particular account. So the trial balance report which I'm going to run will show the balance at that particular account level, irrespective of your company code or your cost center and other stuff. Because I know in my current environment, there are only two company codes in Reliance USD Ledger, 004 and 003. And 003, I do not have any balance. The balance is only under 004 company code. Okay. So let me go back to, I think never mind. We can directly go to the schedule process and run the trial balance report. So when you search for the trial balance, there are a couple of trial balance report which pops up here. So probably look for this trial balance report. It lists the debits, credits, beginning and ending account balances summarized by national account or account combination or national account plus another segment. So depending on the requirement, you can play around with the parameters. So I'm interested in Reliance USD Ledger, and I'm interested in the total accounting period November. So this report will show the balance as of November 2024, which is as of today's date, because there are no other transactions in future dates of this period. And I am interested in the YTD balance. And the balancing segment, if you are interested in a specific balancing segment, you can mention that. And as I mentioned, in my current case, I have the data only for 004 company code. If I'm interested, I can enter the 004 company code, and if I want, I can even leave it blank, because I know under 003 there is no data. And summarize by national account, submit. So process ID ending with 765 got triggered. This is the one. So let me wait for this job to be completed. It's running. And once this is completed, we can check the output of this trial balance report for my current liability account and compare that with my payables trial balance report. So go to the output, publish, trial balance, export, PDF. Okay, so it is summarized by, it's for 004 company and summarized by account. Under this particular account with this particular company code, irrespective of any cost center or any intercompany segment, my balance under this account is 175,597. It shows minus because it's a credit balance. So in this trial balance report, debits are being shown in positive, credits are shown in negative. And if I go back to my, where is the payables report? If I go back to payables report, I have the same 175,697, 175,697.8. Okay, it is minus, it's which means it's a credit, and payables trial balance shows positive. It doesn't mean it's debit. So basically, it's slightly different in payables trial balance. If it is a positive, so that means it's a credit balance. In GL trial balance, if it's a positive, it's a debit balance. So here it is showing negative, which is a credit balance, which is matching with the positive here, which is a credit balance. Okay, so in simple terms, payables trial balance, if everything goes fine, so in general your payables trial balance shows the number in positive, whereas your GL trial balance shows the number in negative, but both are same. Okay, so this is how you try to match your payables trial balance with your GL trial balance, and if there are any discrepancies, then you need to follow the steps whatever I mentioned earlier. Okay, thanks for watching my video. For interesting videos on Oracle Fusion Financials, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.